My name is Daniel Miranda, and today I'm going to show you the basic principles of test-driven development using the red-green-refactor pattern. I have chosen a pretty simple example. It's called FizzBuzz, and it's a kind of game where for a given natural number greater than 0, we have to return Fizz if the number is divisible by 3, Buzz if the number is divisible by 5, Buzz if the number is divisible by both numbers, otherwise the same number if no other requirement is fulfilled. I'm going to use C# as my development language, and machine specifications are my unit test framework. I'm going to start by creating a new project which is the one that I'm going to use as my main project. And to keep things organized, I'm going to create another project which is going to be my unit test project. I'm going to name it same as my main project. I'm just going to add the .specs. Okay, great. Another thing that I need is to install the reference to the unit test framework using the NuGet package manager console. Let's wait for it to retrieve it. I'm having some network problems, so let's wait for the internet to come back. Here we go. I'm going to install the shoot extension. Okay. The first thing that I need is failing test. The simplest test that I can think of is just a test where I just do an instance of my FizzBuzz class where all the logic is going to be written. So I'm just going to create a class which is going to be my unit test. I'm going to name it when creating FizzBuzz. I'm going to make this class public, and I'm going to need a private static variable in order to be able to access it from several parts of my unit test. So I'm thinking of creating the class and naming it FizzBuzz. So here we have the first red part of my test, so I can go green and fix it. Go in the other project, create a new file please, and now the error has gone. Machine specification has strongly defined the three main parts of unit test: act, arrange, act, and assert. I'm going to use the established class to create the instance of my FizzBuzz variable, and I'm going to name it context. This is the syntax that we have to follow. So FizzBuzz equals new FizzBuzz. Just missing a semicolon. Okay, and now I can skip the arrange act part because I'm not going to call any method. So I'm just going to go straight forward to the assert part, and it should not be no. That's all what I am testing. So I can say here FizzBuzz dot should not be no. Great. Okay. Obviously we're not going to see this test fail because we are not asserting anything else that the instance of the object is created successfully. Okay, great. So now I can move forward to the next most simplest test that I can think of. So if we go back to the rules, I think that the rule is pretty simple. If the number is divisible by 3, we return Fizz. So I'm going to create a simple case, and when the number is exactly 3, I'm going to make this class public, remove these useless things, and I think I can copy this until here, paste it right over here, yes, import it, and for the act section I'm going to use the because class and to name it of, and I'm just going to say that I'm going to create another private static variable, which is going to be my result string, and here I'm going to say that result is going to be equals my FizzBuzz object. And here I'm going to call a method called FizzBuzz, which is going to receive the number 3. Here we go red again, and now it's time to fix that. I'm going to getting annoyed by this naming convention. I'm going to create it right from here, create method FizzBuzz, and it's going to return a string and receive an int number. And remember that we just need the minimum code to make our test green again, so I think that will be enough for now. I can go to the assert part, and it should, I'm going to say it should fizz. I'm going to close my Skype. Should fizz, which I'm going to say that result should equal should equal fizz. Okay, great. So let's run our test. Here's the new test with a question mark, meaning that it has not been run. Okay, and the method operation is not implemented. Okay, I'm going to implement just a return an empty string so we can see the assert fail. Expected fizz, but what was an empty string. So the minimum code that I can write for in order to fix my test is just make it return the string fizz. Okay, let's run this. Amazing, we are green again. Let's see if we can refactor anything. So not just a simple line of code. So let's move forward to our next test. Here is pretty similar rule, so I'm going to create a similar test. The only difference is going to be that instead of 3, I'm going to send in a 5, and it should buzz. Great. Please move this to another file. Great, and it should buzz 5. Okay, I think we are ready to run our test again. Okay, amazing. We have a failing test. Expected buzz, but was fizz. Now I can go here and fix it. So the minimum code that I can write in order to fix this, I'm going to say if number equals 5, then return string buzz. Great. Now let's run them again. Amazing, we are green again. Let's see if we can refactor anything. Replace with return. Okay, I'm going to obey resharper. So let's run our code again. Great. So now let's see our rules again. We have to return fizz buzz if the number is divisible by both numbers. I think this is too complicated right now, so I'm going to write the code for the next case in the first rule, and I'm going to use this test as a sample. So I'm going to use a multiple or a number divisible by 3. So let's see what happened. It is divisible by 3. So a number divisible by 3 can be 6, and it should fizz. Okay, move this to another 5, please. Okay, let's run our test. Interesting. It's the test that I just have reading is passing, so I think it has its logic. So I'm going to create another test, but this time is going to be a number dividable by 5, following the previous case is dividable by 5. And this is another 5, please. So a number dividable by 5, just by 5. I'm going to rename it to say just by 3. Please rename file to match type name. Thank you. And now it should buzz. Amazing. Let's run our test suite. And expected buzz, but was Fizz. Let's see what's happening. Okay, here if you can't you can see we are just considering that the number that we are receiving is 5. So I'm going to modify this to say a number mod 5 equals 0. I like to put this between parentheses so it's more readable. Okay, let's run our test again. Amazing, all passing. And let's see if we can refactor anything. Nope, it's just a single line of code, so we can move forward to our next test, which I'm going to retake this one when the number is divisible by both 3 and 5. I'm going to take this test as a sample and copy and paste it. It's divisible by 5 and 3. Please move this to another file. So a number divisible by I'm going to order to 3 and 5. The first number I think of is 15, so it should be FizzBuzz. It should FizzBuzz. Amazing. Let's run our test. Failing. Okay, now expected FizzBuzz, but was buzz. Oh, wait a second. Great. And now let's see if we can go green again. So I think I can do it in a single line of code if I want the code to be readable. So I'm going to rewrite this. Sorry. And I'm going to say if number mod 5 equals 0, return buzz. Sorry about that annoying noise. And I have some constructions near here, so and I'm going to leave it this as it was before. Return Fizz. And now I can set if number mod 3 equals 0 and number mod 5 equals 0, then return FizzBuzz. Okay, great. I like this to be separated by a blank space. So now let's run our test again. Great, I have a failing test again. Expected boss. What's happened? If you can see, 15 is fulfilling this first condition, so it's returning boss. And I'm not checking if it's divisible by 3 also, so I'm going to move this right over here. So now the test should end up successfully. Amazing. Now that I have fulfilled my conditions, I can go to the last one. If the same number doesn't fulfill my three rules above, so I should return the same number, or the same number string in this case. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to say that it's going to receive 1 and it should return 1. It should return 1. The number is 1. Great. So I can go and run our test. Okay, I have a failing test. And so expected one, but was Fizz. Okay, let's go to my class, and I think this one, I think that I know the thing that I'm going to write is a little stupid, but I'm going to just write the minimum line of code to fix my failing test. So I can think, okay, just return and return number to string, just to so now I can go to my test. Now I have my current failing test now is passed, but I have a failing test. Expected Fizz, but was 3. So I think I'm missing a condition similar to this one. So I'm going to place it here. If number is mod 3 equals 0, it should Fizz. And now I can go to my test and set random. Okay, amazing. So I think we have finished, and it's a really simple code. So the only thing that we are missing is the test tip. So I'm going to create here a quick example to run it. I'm going to create a new object, FizzBuzz. Okay, and a for loop. Remember that we are starting in numbers greater than 0. And let's do it until 61. And here I'm going to write a line into to on the console. So I'm going to say EI, sorry, I pronounced that letter in Spanish. I plus a blank space. I'm going to paste a column there. Plus FizzBuzz I. Great. And here I'm going to read a line so we can stop the console. Otherwise, it's going to execute it, print all these lines, and after that, it's going to close itself. Great. Now we can see here 1, 2 is 2, 3 is Fizz, 4 is 4, 5 Buzz, 6 Fizz, 7, 7, and if we go to 15, Fizz Buzz, and the next number dividable by both number is 30. Okay, it's okay, and 45. Okay, FizzBuzz and 60 FizzBuzz. So we have finished this simple case.